Good evening, boys. TheSuffolkRam from Rand Nerds. Welcome to my review of Doctor Who Season 11, Episode 8, The Witchfinders. There may be some minor spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, turn off now. So it kicks off, literally, really right into it. Doctor and gang are exploring this little rural village, looking for a combination, and they've come across this little village fete going on. There's bobbing for apples and other stuff. And there's suddenly this guy announces and calls everybody over to come and watch a witch trial. And they get to witness firsthand a witch being dunked straight in. And it's a really rapid introduction. And this is something that actually stays with the episode. It sets a scene for the episode for the whole thing. This episode is very rapidly edited. It literally jumps so often. There are so many bits where it's like the editing was so quick and so fast. I actually thought I was going to get whiplash. There's sections where, to give you an early on section, Doctor sees Duncan, surprise, surprise, this is a minor spoiler for the first 5 minutes. She jumps in the water to save the woman being dunked, and she jumps in the water, and almost instantly she's out of the water with the woman on the side. It literally is no sort of in-between bit at all. She's boom, straight there she goes. And it feels very disconcerting. It's the same true later on. There's segments later on where one of the characters will just suddenly be somewhere else because they need to be there and they can't show anything in between them getting any movement there. So it feels really very rapidly cut together. I mean, the story's a bit like it as well, jumps around a little bit. Some of the dialogue is the same thing. You get the feeling that this was a story that was almost written to be almost like probably over an hour long, and they've then had to really hack away at it to try and make it fit within its 50-minute runtime. I mean, the story itself actually isn't that bad. It's actually quite a decent story I actually quite enjoyed. You know, they're around the time of the rich trials. It's no big spoiler. King James turns up, but there's something going on in the woods, and people are being attacked and by strange mud monsters, and so they have to investigate and find out what's going on. It's an interesting plot line. It's an interesting story, and the sort of background of it's quite neat. But it just feels way too rapid. I sort of wanted to take a breath, and I just felt like it. But then at the same time, there are scenes in it which are irrelevant. There's a whole segment where the Doctor and Yaz are talking to this girl, and basically what they talk about is completely pointless to the whole episode. You could have cut that and actually then fit it out around that as well. So it's actually, I would say, quite shoddily edited. I mean, I said the story itself was quite enjoyable. I mean, we're actually convinced at one point it's going to be a two-parter because it gets right to this sort of semi-cliffhanger at the end, and then it sort of fades to black. You think, oh, is this set up for a two-parter? No, they resolve it in time. It is a one-off episode. It all gets resolved, but it's just so quick. I mean, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. That could have been done better. But you know, other than that, it's another historical episode. You know, we meet King James, we get to see a bit about him. I don't know how, from what I understand, that King James, his character isn't too far from what he was like, but I'm not an expert scholar on the royal family, or King James himself, so not so sure about that. But it moves on, as I said, moves on a fair lick. But you know, it was an enjoyable story, so I can't really fault it there. So, on to the cast. So we won't talk about the main gang, those sort of being who they are. I suppose I can mention that some of these main characters or side characters. You've got King James I, played by Alan Cumming, properly hamming up as King James I. You can tell he must be absolutely loving the role. He hams up so much, but it sort of fits and works. It doesn't feel bad. It's not like William Shatner hamming it up. He's really it feels everything in keeping. We've also got Sibahan Feniran, who's out rooting. Who's the sort of woman in charge of rooting out the witches in her area, and sort of the one who is like causing all the trouble, as it were, at the start, where she's in charge of the dunking and causing the mayhem. And character plays her very well. I mean, from what I understand, she's apparently in Downton Abbey. I've never watched Downton Abbey, so no idea. But does a very neat job. Really sort of, again, brings like this sort of slightly doolally, crazy character lady. And she just seems at first quite crazy, and it's interesting how we find a bit more about her as time goes on. There's also a young girl in it called Willow Twiston, who's played by Tilly Steele. She's the daughter of the witch at the start who gets accused and tried. And she's actually a fairly decent actress. There's some scenes where later on where she has to make some decisions, and you can just see her. She very cleverly conveys the thought of, is this the right thing to do, and then twisting it into how she responds, and it's very cleverly done, very well done. So pretty decent in that respect. I mean, there's a couple other guys in there, but they basically have very little screen time on there. There's one character, I don't know who, which I've got listed on here. He's got a name thing, but I don't of course see him the whole thing, so I don't know where he came from, haven't been from. But yeah, I think most of the cast and crew are pretty darn decent in this one, so really good. So the episode is directed by Sally Abrahamian. I'm almost certainly pronouncing that wrong. Apologies, but she's director. She also directed Arachnids in the UK. Similar style, in a way, although as it's fairly rapid. I mean, Arachnids UK didn't come across to me as that bad edited. I'm trying to remember back in the handy bits, but that actually flowed quite nicely. Possibly a tighter script. The script in this, which is written by, I need to look at my lists now here, written by Joey Wilkinson, who is also writing, Joy Wilkinson, sorry, too far away for me to read properly. They're also writing next week's episode. The script doesn't feel very tight, and it comes across as there's too much in it. And I don't know if it's the directorship is sort of struggling to fit it in, and that's why it comes across as a bit bitty, or whether the script was okay, the actor is not doing a great job. I mean, Arachnids is okay. Not a brilliant episode, B-movie episode, had some problems, but was fairly tightly and well paced. This episode isn't. It's, I thought, fairly badly paced. But, the script's, I think the script could have done some more work on it. I mean, it's got quite a few funny moments in it. There's several moments where I'm used to sort of having a little giggle or two, but there's several moments where I'm actually laughing properly at it, watching, and quite enjoyed that. So that's good in a way. Also, the sort of main monsters are also quite, as you see them later on, are quite interesting. They're zombie-esque, but they're not. They've got this sort of weird way of walking with their hands backwards, which it's a subtle thing, but it makes them just seem not normal. And actually works quite effectively. And then towards the end, when you get to meet the main monster, the CGI that is really, I can't tell if it's CGI or makeup. It looks CGI to me, but it might be sort of bit makeup with enhanced CGI. That I thought was very well done. At the very end, there's another sort of monster appear. That's a little bit more disappointing, but overall, pretty well good production. So quite good in that regard. So my final thoughts on this episode: I liked it. I did actually enjoy it. I thought the storyline had some interest to it. It was not something that we've seen a huge amount before, although it's got, obviously, most stories have themes of other things, and then when you analyse them too much, I just felt that, as I've said right at the start, it's paced badly. It's just not done right as it should be done. So it lets itself down in that regard. It could have been a really great episode, but it just lets itself down a little bit with that factor into it. But overall, I actually did enjoy the episode. So very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and give us a like, just to sort of say you've enjoyed it. We do other things on here as well. We do a podcast, bi-weekly podcast. Our latest one was yesterday, which you can check out. It's the live stream is on there, and you can also subscribe to it through iTunes. If you search for Rand Nerds on iTunes, you can subscribe to it there. Website randnerds.com as well, which basically just tends to be positive of all the other things we put up. We also have Facebooks and Twitters and all the various other things as well. But yeah, if you have, I really appreciate it if you do that for us. So I look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time when we do the next episode, where we'll saw the penultimate episode actually of the series. It's come along quickly, but I suppose because it's 10 episodes rather than 13, it's come, but obviously a lot quicker. So I look forward to seeing you on that when we review that. Hopefully this one this week, me and my colleague Middlemeister will also be doing a review of the last 3 episodes, with a full spoilerish review. So look forward to watching us on that. So until then, I've been TheSuffolkRam. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.